Absolutely wonderful. Now, you may have, oh, hang on a minute, no light. Is that any better? Is that better? That's the same as that, isn't it? No. Yeah, we'll go with that. I can't have it on migraine settings. That's why there was no stream last night. Now, here's why I'm talking a bit quieter. A, because it might be nicer for you lot. And B, because I've been up all night writing for 9 weeks now and working all day, that it's really fucked up my missus' sleeping patterns. You know, she used to go to bed about 10 o'clock and be up at 6, 7 in the morning, and now she's just sleeping all day. She's got sort of my routine. So I got her some of those earbud things, but not buds. They're what musicians use. If you have trouble sleeping because of noise and aren't worried about your house burning down and you not knowing about it, they're amazing. They're like some kind of, what's that stuff called? It's like rubber, but I think they rebranded it silicon. And you roll them into a little ball. If Al Max here or any musicians are here, they'll know about it. You roll it into a little ball and you push it right in the hole of your ear, but then you sort of spread it around that sort of shape bit there. Yeah, there's probably a name for it. I'm going to call it the kernel. The kernel of your ear. Where did I get that from? What's that? That's like an ear of corn, isn't it? So a kernel. Right. And then what they do, because when you rub them, they get warm. Once they're in your ear and they get a chance to set, in the morning you take them out and they retain the shape. So next night, bespoke ear, what are they called? Noise reduction lumps. That's probably what it is. That's probably exactly what it is. No, that might be quite a good idea though, Pags. You know, the old industrial one for putting in between thingy bob walls. Just stick it in there. I was thinking of using some of that to stop the rats coming in. Oh, did I see a rat in the front room the other day? Oh, about that big. Yeah, just there, just looking at me. You all right? And as soon as he realised I'd woken up, but he ran down that way. He did, instead of going out the big double doors into the wide world, he ran down to where all the rooms and the kitchen are. Probably still there. Plugs is what I was looking for. Lovely. Hello, mate. Nice to see you, Sergeant. Still not a silicon, a special type of sponge. Now, talking about special types of sponges, let's talk about an unspecial type of sponge. So, you know, I was complaining that StreamYard changed everything and they got rid of my ability to have my QR code there. Do you remember I was complaining and I tried to do a little one here and it wouldn't let me, it was too small, and they were putting the prices up and all this. Found out today, because I got an email from him saying your yearly subscription is going to renew in about 4 days. And I was like, hey, it's subscription. I don't get anything. I'm on the free version. And I know that. I did pay once, but I assumed that had run out, right? And it said your subscription is going to run out, but you're going to be charged 480 quid for another year. And I thought, hang on, what's going on here? I haven't. And then it all just dawned on me. What happened was I made a video. I used StreamYard to make a video for my lockpicking channel. And I logged in using a different account and everything. And then when I tried to do another stream here, I logged in to that account. So boring. But essentially, I've been paying for StreamYard and not using it for 6 months. Now, 460 nick is a lot of money, but spread over a year, I reckon that QR code itself will pay that back. And it also means I don't have to have that bloody duck there. And there's a couple of other little things that I'll work out how to use. And I mean, there's things like I can have a little bit of music playing in the background. I think we tried that before. Didn't really work, did it? Yeah, let's give it a go. So that's what you think. Hang on. Hang on. Can you hear it? I mean, I'm leaving it deliberately very quiet. Right, yeah. Don't worry, I'll get rid of it very shortly. But there's a few different ones we can choose from. So there's that. No stream yesterday. Migrained off. Spoke to my GP in the UK. He's a mate of mine, so it's Andy really. And he said before we got onto the headaches I've been getting again, they come and go. You know it is. And I told him about this new novel. And then he said, so you're working, 14-hour days on your business? I said, between 10 and 15, something like that. He went, right. He said, how long are you writing for? I went, usually start about 2 o'clock in the morning, finish about 6, 7. He went, okay. He went, streaming? I went, not so much, 2 or 3 a week. He went, all right. Making videos? I went, yeah, more than usual, actually. He went, all right. He said, I just want to tell you, if you're about to ask me about having headaches, don't. He said, come to me if you're not getting headaches, because then there's something wrong. So, and in a way, the headache, it's really weird, man, because I'm trying to be quiet. I've got my mic right in front of me, and I've never had it like that. It's always like a mile over there. But it's right in front of me, so if you can't hear me, just let me know. I'm trying not to look down at it. Can you still hear it if I talk like that? Yeah, well anyway, I've got to try and keep it down. It's not fair. I don't mind making ridiculous body destroying sacrifices. I've got some wicked news to tell you about that in a minute. But anyway, if any of you want to test that QR code, apparently it's good if you test it with a large amount of money. I mean, I don't know if that's true, just a rumor I picked up on the internet. But you just put your camera over it, your phone camera, and it gives you a link, and that'll take you to buy me a coffee. Now, this isn't a joke. The other one was. Entropy only pays out when you hit $100. And I'm on about 93, and I have been for about the last 4 months. And I even wrote to them and said, can I not give you the extra $7 so that you can give me? They were like, no. So if you do want to donate, I mean, Entropy takes about the same amount as Buy Me a Coffee. And Buy Me a Coffee and Entropy, they're about the best ones. But you've also, the other grift, of course, is a super chat at the bottom of the YouTube comments. While there's only 52 people in, I think it's time to say some hellos. Pags is on the firm. Hello, Pags. Honey Monster's in here. Lovely, jubbly. Hello, Neil. Been a while. Nice to see thee. JP. How are you, mate? Always a pleasure. Keys to the kingdom. Wunderbar. No way is Mrs. Me in here. Did I tell you? I think I told you in an email. I thought I'd upset you or something. I mean, you're hard to upset, but you kind of disappeared. You got a new filter, and who's the geezer? That's my old man. I've told this story too many times though. My missus had it made from a little passport size photograph. Got someone to Photoshop a suit on and had it enlarged and put in a frame. It's quite sweet. Up on this wall here, she's got photos of me, my brother when we were kids, mum, my dad. It's all very sweet. I mean, it's not the sort of thing I'd do, but I sort of thanked her and, lovely really. But, who else we got on the firm? Humans is here. Nice to see you, son. Sergeant Steele, Doc Shelley, Anglo. I didn't send you a link, did I? I fucking wrote it as well. I just didn't send it. I know I wrote it. Can a lockpick used to remove earplugs? There's one joke in lockpicking, and everyone who gets into lockpicking thinks they're the first person to say it. They get their first lockpick set and they join a forum and they say, I've been fiddling around with this lock for 5 hours. I've got more chance of picking my nose with these picks. And everyone goes, yeah. But there you go. Nice to see you, Anglo, nonetheless. Mouse Cats on the firm. We've got the pair. We've got the me in it pair. Absolutely wonderbar. Charlie Sparkles. Ams. Hello, Ams. Are you new, Ams? If you are new, let us know and everyone will say hello to you. Or have you just changed your name, or have I just completely forgotten, which would be very rude. Hello, Baz. Baz is on the firm. Wonderbar. Emma G. Hello, friends. Emma G. LC350. I think did I reply to your lockpicking email? This is getting a bit lockpicking heavy, this stream, isn't it? I'm going to shut the doors. Can you hear all that racket? Yeah. It's just inner city life for you. That's better though, isn't it? Sorry about that, people. I just get used to it. I think I said hello. Hello, plot loser. You enjoying the background music, are you? If you're enjoying it, I'll let it rock. We'll have a vote or something in a minute. Check it out, see how it's working out. Livy's on the firm. Hello, Livy. No, why have I not seen racism in here for ages? Hello, mate. Maybe you've been here and I've just missed you. Who knows? Yeah, she's lovely. She's an absolute angel. Yeah. But she's been a fucking handful this period. Sometimes, yeah, and she knows it as well. And afterwards, she's full of apologies. The things she starts having a go at me about, I'm like, what have I done wrong there? She had a go at me for, when you wash your hands in a sink, and then you go like that. You go like that in the sink, so that you don't get so much water on the tea cloth. You just get the most. Everyone does it, don't they? She's like, don't do that. And I know that in 5 days' time, I'll say, do you remember when you had a go at me for doing that? And she'll say, shut up, and start laughing. And I'll say, it's not funny at the time, though. Can you stop it, please? Do I think that's been going on for 100 years, that? And to be honest with you, the Thai army is about 20 times the size of the Cambodian army. The Cambodian army has no aircraft. No aircraft. It wouldn't be a war. It would be a vicious and spiteful invasion by Thailand, and it would just be loads of civilian deaths. I think no. I think Trump already said there's a ceasefire apparently, and the problem you're going to get, which we're already having, Trump said, I'm doing no trade deals with Thailand or Cambodia unless you have a ceasefire, and China pretty much said the same, but not formally. So the ceasefire started. Everyone started moving back to their border towns because it's all on the northern border. Not all the way along it, because it's a long old border. But just this little area around this temple. That's all about this temple. Years ago, when the French colonised the area, they drew the maps. They said, right, this is Thailand, this is Cambodia, this is Laos, this is Vietnam. And ever since then, Cambodia and Thailand have argued over this little temple that's on the Cambodian side of that line. Thai people say that Cambodians nicked their culture, and Cambodian people say that the Thais have nicked their culture. All their traditional music, dance and clothing, both sides, it's very similar. It is very similar, but they both reckon the others nicked it off them. There's a lot of Thai people that reckon they built Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is like it's on the Khmer flag. It's on their money. It's like it's like a national a global heritage site, and like the Thais reckon it's theirs. I'm not saying it isn't, or through some line of argument you could say it was, but come on, we're well beyond that now, aren't we? Angkor Wat, Siem Reap, Cambodia. So there won't be a war, no. There would be an invasion, and it would be awful. And I don't think the bigger powers, whose job it is to kind of police the world, will just say, well, you can if you want, but you ain't doing any business with us. And all travel to Thailand will be stopped. And there are not mainly, but they are a very large percentage of their economy is tourism. And so as soon as you start hitting people in the pocket, they sort of they pull back a bit. Anyway, that's enough hellos. If I didn't get one in, and I'll see you later. Oh, there you go. All right, nice one, Ams. Nice that you popped over here. I'll have you know the Rags and Jacks crew is actually one of my many spawns. Yeah, I own that site in many ways. That channel. Did I give you an actual hello, Mousecat? Mousecat's been coming back with some incredible comments on my Substack. It's quite the thing. Now, people, I do have my entropy and my Dangerfield stories up here. So if you do donate by them, and do donate, I do need the money very badly, you will get your moment in the sun on the stream. But let's give everyone a very big smile and introduce today's host of the show, because I am only the co-host, of course, your friend of mine, Mr. Picard.
Hello.
Son. Oh, God, you're
I've even got my mic on today.
That's why you're so loud, I would assume. But it's not you. Hang on, I've got to press all this.
Because you and the music at the minute is like, welcome to Chris's whispering stream.
Yeah, I just want the missus to get a decent night's sleep. Hello, so Daniel.
I'll give that my best shot.
No, you can be all right. I can just turn you down a little bit. You can carry on as long as people can hear me. Hello, Ludwigs. Nice to see you. Ludwigs, plural. How many of you are there in here? Right. Something else I was going to tell you that I thought might tickle you. Oh yeah, listen to this. Right. Listen. Making a living as a writer is my dream. Right. I don't want to make an amazing living. I've got the land. I think we can scrub together enough money to build something. You know, I keep saying to the missus doesn't understand that when you've got money, you've always got money. She doesn't understand that does go. No, I mean this. I really mean this. You could suggest she's pulling a fast one, but she's not. But I say to her, look, we're now chipping into the money for the house. When you come back with 3 new outfits for the gym, when I've been up there to pick you up and the other girls are wearing like a pair of shorts and a t-shirt and you've got like some fucking Adidas all-in-one tracksuit. I mean, it's a snide, but it's still $20 she didn't need to spend. And like, she just looks at me like, yeah, but you said the investments went up. I mean, yeah, but it's just a question of not buying things you don't need so that we've got money later. Because business isn't going well, blah, blah, blah. And if we're a bit more frugal now, when we live in the house, we'll have money. And she's like, oh, yeah. And then she comes in and she's bought me a kilo of durian, which is like 15 quid. And it's a lovely treat to get me a durian, but I'd rather have the 15 quid, to be honest with you. That's a lot. 15 quid's worth of fruit is a lot, but it's fucking lovely. Anyway, why was I telling you all that? Oh yeah, just in case you don't know, there is another super grift, the Scrubs Wall. $20, you get to join these people who are going to be etched into the side of my house in the jungle. Right,
Lair.
Listen to... What?
It's Lair, your jungle lair.
Jungle Lair, sorry mate. Right, listen to this absolute blag. On Amazon KDP, which is where I'm going to publish this book. I think I am. I'm almost certain. There's a few options, but I think it's the easiest one. In your genre, and the genres they keep sort of like getting smaller. So I will go to literary fiction. And then in literary fiction, I'll select memoir. So then I'll be in literary fiction memoir. And then it'll be literary fiction memoir. And then there'll be another section, autobiographical. So you sort of round down where you are, right? And apparently, you've only got to sell 100 books in the first week of your launch to go to the top of that genre, And when you go to the top of that, you can strap bestseller, Amazon #1 bestseller, even though you're not the bestseller of the whole of Amazon, but just of that genre. But you can strap that on your cover, and because it's all digital, you can do it that day. When you get a message from Amazon saying, congratulations, you've sold 5,000 books. And they tell you, so then I just get the cover that I'll have professionally made, and just on the corner, Amazon #1 bestseller, and which then puts sales up. It becomes like a snowball effect. So I'd like to think the Scrubs might buy 100 books if I really push it. By really push it, I mean stream every night and talk about nothing else but the novel for 3 weeks before release. Yeah, you know, get yourself some tramadol in for that or something. But check this out. My mother used to be the admin of a Facebook group that's got about 20,000 followers, and it's a Facebook group about Dartford and like nostalgia about Dartford. And the book is very much, it's not only about Dartford, but it's set in Dartford, and there's loads of Dartford things in it, funny things that people will recognise and all that. I haven't got a Facebook account, but I've got a mate who lets me use his, and I'm a member of that forum. And I said on it about 3 hours ago, I said, many of you will know, and I said my mum's name and that, and she was very well known on this forum, and she died a couple of years ago, but her son is just finishing a book, and it's autobiographical about him in Dartford in 1986. It should be available in November. If it's not against the rules, I'll post a link when it's ready, or I'll just give you the name of it and you can find it yourself. 10 minutes later, 80 comments. Where is it? What's it called? Where can I buy it? It's just like wicked, wicked. Then I thought, well, hang on a minute. Let's not swim and wither so drastically. I realise I'm also a member of a group I joined ages ago looking for some old salt I used to knock off, and it's my old school. Now there's loads about my old school in the novel, real teachers' names, real places, real things that happened that people will know about. So I pulled the same trick on there. I said, my mate, he's a writer and he went to this school and he's written a novel about it. And I said he uses real teachers' names, real incidents that happened, loads of nostalgia, loads about Dartford. Same again. I mean, it's a lot smaller forum. It's only about 6,000 people. But if you put 26,000 people, both those forums together, if 5% of those people buy that book, what's that, about 1,100, 1,200 people? Fucking lovely. Tenner a pop. Sweet. And then I get my bestseller. And those, listen, most books on Amazon sell about 3 copies. Seriously. You know, obviously there's ones on there selling millions, but the majority of them are just people, I always wanted to write a book and send it to my mum and my best friends. Like my mate wrote a book and put it on there, and he targeted his LinkedIn content, and he went to me, I only sold 5 on all. I've got 3,000 LinkedIn contacts and I sold 5. So if I can get up to over 1,000, I think I then go up into the next bestseller, and then of course the snowball effect. I'm over the moon, people, and if anything motivates me to get this finished more than actual sales, well, there isn't anything. So yeah, absolutely over the moon. Right, that was a lot of introduction about me. Mrs. Meanit's going to write a book called Crack for Cats. It will be cryptic, yeah, without a doubt. Don't even try. Just write a book called Crack for Cats. Just try and tell a normal story. Don't try and make it cryptic, because there'll be a inverse reaction and it'll actually be a normal story. Just try and tell a normal story, and we know what happens when you try and talk. It goes crazy. I'll be a millionaire, Rodders. Yep, 30k. That'd be nice. I tell you what, just to earn a few quid as a writer. I mean, Lars here. Oi, Lars has written a good story. I'm a little. He's gone off piste though. I kept expecting dragons and that to appear, but I'm a bit dubious as to how Lars knows how much a ton of cocaine costs, and I've done the maths, and he's pretty much nailed it. Oh, Lars has got. How does he sit around that house? How does he sit around that villa in France drinking all day? He's got this cover story that he was some kind of fucking physician, but nah, I'm not buying it. He nailed that price, and most people who write about drugs, they lie and they just get it wrong. But I was like, that's pretty much on the nose. But yeah, good story by Lars recently. It's about a group of mates who used to fly aeroplanes or something, and one of them gets in a bit of trouble. I won't say too much because you might go and read it. Anyway, this is a call-in show. JP's looking. He sells it. Lars, imagine the secret Charles dealer. Right, here we go then. This is a call-in show, people. So I will put the invite in. It'll be one person at a time. Don't get frustrated if I kick you. It's just nice to have more people on here. And because sometimes if you come on and you're particularly interesting and it really grabs me, well, that might take over the show. But if I give you 5-10 minutes, don't take it personally. It's not a negative judgment on your character, personality, or conversation ability. All right? It is really. I mean, what else would I base it on? I mean, I just said if it's interesting, I'll keep you on for the show. Line's rubbish, isn't it? Here we go. I've just popped it in there.
Wow. Sorry, I had my mic off. Otherwise, my missus just crucified me.
Did she really give you a turn off?
No, she's behind me doing something, and after you just said what you said, she said some. I'll paraphrase for her modesty, but something along the lines of, "I have no idea why you're on there." Then.
Oh my God, they're
kind of right.
They're horrible creatures, women, aren't they? They exist purely because they're hot. I mean, if they weren't hot, that'd be it. It'd just be the world would be one big working man's club, and women trying to have unworking women's clubs where they're all sitting around asking where the men are. Here we go. Someone's popped in. Good Lord, you're not going to believe who it is. It's old fucking insulate your roofs, Liam Norton. How are you, brother?
I need put me on, Chris.
Oh, come on. What else was I meant to do? I can't not call it, can I?
How's it going?
It's going all right.
I'm not doing so well, but I'm all right.
Hang on. Whoa. You didn't even listen. You asked me how I was, and then you started telling me how you were.
Sorry, mate. Come on. I want to know.
What does that say? What do you think that says about your personality? What do you think that says about your interest in how I'm getting on? I'll tell you how I'll keep it brief. I've just written a novel. I've been up every night for about 9 weeks. And working all day. I'm shattered. So now we can get on to you. For people who don't remember, what was the organisation called?
Oh, I don't want to talk about that, Chris. Fuck that.
What was it?
Insulate Britain.
Insulate Britain. I think it was. It was all good intentions. Apparently, you can insulate your roofs. The government will give you money for it. Are you still part of that malarkey?
No,
Liam?
I'm not.
Did you drop it out because it was just loads of hassle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. You looked a bit under pressure there, man.
Did I? What? Yeah. When I spoke to you, I think it was all done with, to be quite honest with you.
I respect that you done it though. I think that your intentions were good for sure. Are you smoking a jazz cigarette there?
No, I'm in Hull at the moment, and you can get snide fags for £3.50. People say that it's damaging the community, but I don't believe so. I think it's a very good service that they're providing.
In what respect are they snide? They're like fake.
No, these ones are all right. They're Benson and Hedges Switch. £3.50. They're trying to charge you in England at the moment about £18 for a pack of cigarettes. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know, it's like crack prices, isn't it?
It's mental, isn't it? So God, no, yeah. All of a sudden, Kurds are selling them for £3.50 a packet, and they're saying it's damaging. They're saying it's damaging the community. I think it's pretty good, personally.
Out here, you get a pack of Marlboro Reds or a pack of Camel for $1. Like legit brand name snouts.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? The tax that they're charging. What's the markup on that? You're better at maths than me, Chris.
Yeah, well, it makes you think, doesn't it? The governments like the UK, they don't want anyone to give up smoking. £18 for a pack of fags.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Liam, give me a second. My head's too big. Like, not in real life. But I've just got to...
you see.
I've got to just change something. Hang on. Hang on. What one is it? This one? I won't be a second, people. Packy, you're going to have to help me out here because I don't actually get to see it. Is that better?
Nah, go a bit more.
Nah, smaller.
Is that better?
Bit more.
Bit more.
Bit more.
Nah, that's all I'm doing it.
Scaled.
That's all I'm doing it. I'm not having any more. Let me see what you've done to me. Oh no, that's how I like it. Look at that. Look, 3 blokes with not as much hair as they used to have. So Liam, what? Hang on. £23 for 30 grand. I mean, why is it a surprise that black markets just appear overnight?
Exactly. And they're saying on the BBC News, they're making out like they're terrorists or something. Do you know what I mean? But it's obviously going to happen, isn't it? When they're just taking the piss out of people to try and buy a packet of fags.
The idea that making them expensive stops people using them. I mean, heroin is like more expensive than gold, and it hasn't stopped anyone. All it means is poor people can't eat because their old man's spending all the money on snout.
Chris, what's the crack with the music, mate? I missed the start.
Oh, it's so
is it like
the
Lift. Where'd you pull that one from?
Right, what happened was I got all angry ages ago because I couldn't point above your head, Liam, to that QR code.
Yeah.
Other way. Go the other way. No, yeah. I got all angry one day because StreamYard stopped letting me doing that, and they stopped letting me do loads of other things, and it was all different. Yeah, but it's all right. Job's done.
Technical.
But they stopped letting me do it all, and I got really angry, and I've been fucking around with it for about 6 months. Anyway, I found out earlier that I've been signing into the wrong account, and I've actually not been using a paid account for 6 months.
So you've got to have this music.
So I'm making use of things like the music. The music, no one seems to be complaining. I'll turn it down a little bit. We'll try a different tune, shall we? Let's try lo-fi. Now let's try Into Space. So Liam, so again, people, so Liam, it blew up. He was on telly and all sorts. What did you do? 2 or 3 TV shows?
I did a lot. I did a lot more than that. I did about like 3. I did a lot more than that, Chris. Yeah.
I felt it was a bit shitty because I felt they didn't get you on to listen. I think you'll probably agree. They didn't get you on to listen to your argument. They got you on because you're an easy, not media trained target.
Yeah, I mean, we did do some media training, but I mean, there was some other interviews. Like I did some ones with Dan Wootton, and I tried to sort of I knew what his thing was going to be, and I just treated it like it was a bit of a joke, really. You know, I didn't take any of it too seriously. And there was some other ones with GB News. There was a guy, he's doing a lot of stuff at the moment about immigration. And we actually had a report that we were taking the piss out of each other. I can't remember his name now. He's doing a lot of stuff on GB News. He's a Yorkshire guy.
I don't know, man.
And so some of it, you know, I just treated it like it was a bit of fun, really, a lot of the time. There was a technique to it, obviously, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're doing that sort of stuff, people are trained for years before they put it in front of the camera.
Yeah, I mean, it was fuckery. Like, friends of mine that I grew up with didn't really speak to me afterwards and stuff, you know, things like that, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
I suppose that's a bit like when I sort of came out of the right-wing closet. I lost loads of old friends.
Yeah, I suppose it was the inverse of that, isn't it, I suppose? Because like all the mates that I grew up with were of that, like, what you doing, you dickhead, you know, so...
But isn't it weird that you know, some of my best friends are very much politically opposed to me, but that's why it's interesting talking to them.
Yeah, of course. You find out who your friends are, don't you? When like you can disagree on those kinds of things, and you can still be mates. Like it's like you, Chris. Like there's certain things that you say that I don't agree with, but I always remember when we used to bump into each other that I appreciated your company.
Always. No, you know, I thought you were very brave coming on here because you knew that this was the Fourth Reich, and you know. Oi, 2 questions, Liam.
Go on.
Do you think no, not you. That's not fair. Do you think is it still going? Is Enslaved Britain still a thing?
Nah, they turned into Just Stop Oil. I told you that last time, Chris.
Yeah, but come on, I don't listen to people. So, what was it that caused you to one day go, I'm done with this? Was there a snapping point, or was it a building? I
think, like, you know, like I was arrested about 20 odd times. You know, I had the old Bill coming to my gaff, taking my laptops, taking my phones. Created a lot of chaos and stuff in my life, and to be honest with you, I'm still dealing with the effects of that. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't paid a tax bill for years, or you know, like there's certain unmanageability that's gone on since that, where I've just thought, fuck everything, you know. But it creates a lot of chaos, and I think you need to be a certain type of character to be able to contain that stuff, and I haven't really managed that particularly well, you know. So
it's understandable. I mean, I haven't had anything like that because luckily I'm not in the country, but I had the Times newspaper tell the world that I was grooming teenage Nazis. That doesn't do your reputation that much good. And I suppose I suppose your employment opportunities for the future are kind of fucked, really.
No, because I'm a Sparks, Chris, so people don't even know who I am. Do you know what I mean? So I can still get work and stuff. Yeah, I can still. I don't really. But the thing is like it's just generally, you know, I think if you're going to be a tradesman, you know, you need to have like a 5-10 year plan in terms of working, building money up, deciding whether you want to create a business, all these kinds of things. And like, to be honest, I gave all that up. It was a little bit like, I don't know, I thought it was like slightly hedonistic, I suppose. It was a bit of an adventure, I think, at the time, you know. I'm not saying this as a pejorative, and I'm really not. It's going to come across like it. But was it like it? I can't help but think in the background it was like a squat party scene. I mean that. I really do. Like after all the actual, you know, media stuff and sitting in the road. Can you explain a little bit better what you mean by that? Because
I didn't want to because it makes it sound worse. But
Chris, there ain't really anything you could say that would.
You've got all the sort of. You've got the actual protests. You've got the actual trying to get the information out there. You've got going on the, you know, getting interviewed and all that. But then come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, was it like ketamine round at old one-legged Joe's house?
No, it weren't. Like, to be honest with you, the people that I always met in that scene, they weren't like session people like the mates of mine that I grew up with. They weren't like that, you know.
Interesting.
It
I really
wasn't
would have
sort
thought.
of hedonistic
I really
in
would
that
have thought
sense.
they were.
No, they weren't at all. They were pretty driven people. You have to be driven if you're going to organise and create that kind of thing. It's not like just a two-bob thing that you can just start to say, oh, I'm going to do this and still do loads of
Yeah,
coke and all
that was
on a
naive of
weekend.
me, actually, to think that. Can I ask, don't get yourself in any trouble, but funding, was there, what happens there? Because you obviously needed some amount of funding.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, when we started it, we self-funded. And then, I can't remember what the name of the organisation was, but it got stick, didn't it? That it was that...
George Soros Open
yeah, that's
Society.
Soros. Yeah, it was
That wasn't a bad guess,
there
was
was
it?
some kind of loose connection where the money was coming from. But I can just assure you that, like, it's kind of pretty... It, like, when people say, oh, it's funded by this and it's funded by that, it sort of like designates that, like, they're controlling it. And I can tell you that that organisation, I was there from day one, and it wasn't like some big funder was there from the start saying, oh, we're going to get you to do this and you're going to be our people.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. It was like driven people that started it, and we funded it ourselves. And when it started to become successful, then we sort of asked for money from different places. So that's how it was.
I'm just having this on in the background so that people can see it, but they won't hear it. There you are. How long ago was this, Liam?
2021, wasn't it? The first time I went on there was the best interview. Like, I did pretty well on the first one.
Yeah, but best for you, but it's best for us to see you storm out. Listen, I had a friend, a girl, a beautiful girl, but she had, well, it gets complicated because I don't believe in mental illness, but she was diagnosed as having body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
When she looked in the mirror, she thought she was a monster. And I'm telling you, she was a 15 out of 10 bird. She was a fucking model, catwalk.
Crazy,
model.
isn't it? It's like anorexia and stuff. It's crazy, like all that stuff.
And they said to her, old fucking Richard Madeley and his mother, they said to her,
Judy.
Yeah, they said, because they'd done this sort of, she said to me, they'd done an hour interview with her off screen to get as much info, and they were saying things like, this won't go on, we won't talk about this on the, you know, when we go live. I just trying to get up. Yeah, they fucking did, because she said that she'd had suicidal ideation, and they said, we won't mention any of that. And they said, what kind of things do you sort of think about? She says, well, I think I've got really big ears, and you can't even see them because she had this beautiful loads of locks of blonde hair, right? The interview proper actually starts, and Madeley goes, we'll call her Karen, right? Madeley goes, right, next we'll be talking to Karen, who thought about killing herself because she's got big ears.
Yeah, fucking cunts, mate.
It's like, what the fuck? So
do you know one of the weird experiences?
Hang on, wait. Just so that, hang on. Sorry, Liam. Just so that isn't just a story that goes into the ether. Was there anything like that with you? Did you have like a pre conversation? Did they try and wind you up beforehand or anything, or was it just turn up, sit down, get talking?
No, but I think like so that was the second interview. So the first one was basically they got people from the climate movement, and it was all, I think they were like unprepared, and I attacked them. If you get the first interview up, I basically said,
would you rather me get the first interview up and we'll have a listen?
Well, you can do. I mean, like, people may not be that bothered about it, but like,
no, I think they'll be interested. What one is it? This one?
I basically attacked them. They were basically saying, oh, the ice is melting, and I was like, well, you should have been saying that 10 years ago, you know. And I was pretty good on that first interview. So I think basically what they did on the second one was like, right, we're not letting this fucker have his own way again. So they set it up. They set it up in the second one to sort of basically, he's not going to win this interview.
Right, I get you. Is this the first one? Can lifestyle changes save the planet? Does that look like the first one? I'll move it forward. You might be able to recognise by the clothes you're wearing.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Although you're wearing the same
I
shirt
close
now.
my
aren't you?
eyes far too much. I've noticed that when I'm fucking on the telly.
What's that?
Like, what's that all about?
Hang on, right? I'm gonna have to
I think
start
I'm in
the
the pub
screen
like after I've had about 10 pints or something. I just close 10 whole interview like that. Like.
I tell you what, though, you know they say telly puts about £10 on you. Were you a bit large then, or does telly put about? You don't. You look a lot thinner
I
now.
put a few pounds on, Chris.
Right. Okay.
I wish I'd have spent a few months in the gym before all those interviews. You know.
Liam, you know, well, it's a few months on the crack. You lose about 1 kilo an hour.
Yeah, I've been trying.
Right, let's listen to a bit of Liam on what is it? Good Morning Britain, with the most unpleasant man in British media, Richard.
I've got a story to tell as well afterwards about Richard.
Is it? Do you think it'd be better to tell the story before?
Yeah,
or after?
probably, mate. Yeah. To be honest.
All right. Well, hang on. Hang on. Let me just make
that
it.
Might go on for like 10 minutes, mate. You know what I mean?
I won't show all of that. Don't worry about that. Let me just find one where we can. There we go. So tell us a story, then we'll watch a bit.
Who was the press officer for Blair? Alistair
Campbell?
Alistair Campbell, yeah. So I go in for like the third or fourth interview and I'm in the green room and fucking Alistair Campbell walks in, right? And like, I was a bit of a politics nerd when I was growing up. And like, he was a bit of a like, I know like, whatever you might think about it, but he was a bit of a genius, that guy, you know, in terms of how he operated, what he did.
Those, yeah, without a doubt.
You know what I mean? So I was sat there talking to him for about 20 minutes in this green room, just chatting to him. He was asking me about this, asking me about that. I was chatting to him. And Richard Madeley walks in, right? So this is after I'd stormed out. Richard Madeley walks in, that's the camp, goes, "Oi, don't fucking be a wanker to him today, all right?" And like Richard Madeley got all like, no, I'm just gonna be like, just gonna be like cool with him, like,
He stood up for you, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
all
like
right.
one of them insane, you know. I mean, you know, like from your days in, say, you know, you get them days where you're like, have these mad experiences in life with like well-known people, and you think, "Fuck me, what am I doing here?" You know, he's one of them.
Oh,
you know? It's just like, what the fuck's going on here? Alistair Campbell's fucking telling Richard Madeley to treat me right, you know.
I'll give you the short version because my subscribers have heard it 1,000 times. I was interviewed by Rupert Everett for Channel 4 about whoring. But the dark web sent me like no accountability, no responsibility. They just write 5 ampules of diazepam. Soon as the missus leaves the house, like 10:30 in the morning, I'm in the bathroom. I've put two of them in a 3 ml. So I got 1.5 into this 3 ml barrel. Bang! Fucking loved it. Done another one. Then my phone rings. I'm like, oh fucking hell! Like, because I am flattened. And the missus says, "Don't forget you've got that Rupert Everett interview at 12." Like, I'm looking at trying to focus on the phone, and it's like 11:30. And I had to go to the Groucho Club. I had to put a suit. Oh man, what I tried to do, I thought, if I'm just really fast and hyper, it will sort of
catch him off guard.
No, what I thought is because I was all like that. If I go too far the other way, I might meet somewhere in the middle, which is normal. But no, I'm just absolutely mental. Like going from really fast to really slow.
Just on a pipe.
like I just injected loads of diazepam. It was like there's one bit where he says, because I knew Rupert anyway from Bar Italia, drinking cups of tea with him. That's why he asked me if I go on there. Well, not because I drank tea, but because he knew about my whoring. And there's one bit where he says, "Do you ever think about what the woman that you're having sex with in a prostitute situation is thinking about?" And without a thought, I go, "Hey." It's so bad. It's so not my actual thoughts about it, because actually I enjoyed that aspect of it, but I didn't understand him. I just went, hey.
You know, I've often thought this, you know, like in that whole thing, like a lot of men are fucking taken advantage of in that whole thing as well, aren't they?
I'm not sure if they're taken advantage of.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's a cost to some of those blokes as well. I think, you know what I mean.
I think it's a specific example of a general problem. That's all. I think there's a lot of lonely men out there.
Yeah,
I think
but they're rinsed monetarily.
Well, they're not rinsed. They pay. They're rinsed as much as they are going to Starbucks. I think mothers sexually damage young boys. You know, not through neglect or abuse, just the way that the family structure's set up. And I think a lot of young men are sexually damaged. And with a prostitute, you haven't got to deal with the connection that you have with, for instance, your wife. Now, as you mature, you have a connection like that with your missus, where you can talk about your sexuality, what you like, what you don't like. But when you've been shamed by a mother, I certainly was. I remember coming home at age 10 or something, and I'd been snogging this bird like all afternoon, to the point where my lips were furry, you know, when you're just snogging it. And my mother goes to me, where have you been all day? And I went round at Sarah Butterfield's house. We've been snogging all day. And she looked at me like a monster. And she went, you're not old enough for that sort of thing. And the shame, you know, just the shame. And then there was a few more incidents like that over the next few years. And only in my 40s did I actually start dealing with that, which is why I had about 5 birds on the bounce that ended up shaming me sexually, you know, because I'd go for that kind of woman.
But a lot of addiction's based in shame as well, isn't it? Like, you know,
I don't believe in addiction. Yeah, I think it's a choice, but a lot. I
know what you mean, mate. You have to take responsibility, but also like
a lot of obsessive and compulsive drug use is based in shame. So I think we're agreeing. 42, someone's actually given me a fucking donation. Good Lord. He dropped a lady Godiva and he said, ask Liam how connected they were to other activist groups. That's a good one. Nice one, 42.
It's a pretty broad question.
But did you have like contacts with like Antifa?
What is Antifa, Chris? It doesn't really
well, if you don't know, then
things where like it's a pretty broad term that's used to just blanket people that you might not disagree with, and I don't think it's really that helpful, to be honest.
Yeah, but the left always say that so that they don't have to define it, because there are Twitter accounts called Antifa, like, and then they say the region they're from. And when the old bill wanted the Black Bloc to turn up, i.e. in Epping the other month, they managed to bust a load of Antifa in. So you can...
Well, I thought that was a particularly... I just didn't think that was helpful, them going there. I thought it just...
No, I don't think you
know what I mean? I thought it just created a massive amount of confrontation where it didn't really need to be there. You know what I mean? The police, they weren't ever going to stop those people from doing it. The police were there anyway, and I just don't know how helpful that was. I think there's certain times where you do need to do that, but I don't necessarily think that was...
What, you think there's certain times where the old bill should bus in?
No. I'm saying, like, I think there's certain times where you should combat racism.
What is racism, Liam?
I think it's a good question, isn't it? I think when you look at, there's different aspects to it. I think, like, are you talking about
well, I'm not. You know, you said the word.
No, I'm Chris. Calm down, mate. Systemic racism, I think, is something that, and I know you sort of, we had a bit of a thing about that last time when we spoke, but I think what is
that? Hang on, we're going off. We will get back to your question 42, but what can you, and I mean this isn't just rhetoric, what is systemic racism? Because I've heard
Well, I
it
think if you look at
touted
black people's treatment in America over 400 years, I think you could class that as systemic racism.
over 400 years. They've had trillions of dollars put into their communities, and they've
Well, if you
spent
that
a
all
lot.
stopped.
If you just look at the
Stopped generations
statistics,
ago.
if you just look at the statistics, like of how they've been dealt with over since slavery and
Oh,
post-slavery.
Give me some of those statistics.
Well, I think if you look at the amount of black people that have been imprisoned in America, like since the Civil War, it's
Is
pretty
that not
appalling.
because-
like,
is that
America
not because-
imprisoned more people than anywhere. Like they've got more prisoners than
Yeah, but
the whole of the
Liam,
rest of the world added up.
Might that not be because they're engaged in more crime?
Yeah, but why are they engaged in crime? Because they're
Well,
poor. Because they're poor. Because they're being treated like shit.
No,
Yeah, well,
that's not.
we'll always disagree on that, but I think that's a valid point.
But how comes the numbers are the same in the UK as they are in America?
I don't think we have as many black people here, do we?
No, but 13% of the yeah, we do. It's the same. 13% of the
You sure?
population. Yeah, 13% of the population commit 52% of violent crimes, shootings, muggings, murders, and rapes. And then,
Yeah, but
and
if you look
can,
at somewhere like poverty is always the indicating factor of violent crime, isn't it? So if you go to somewhere like Glasgow,
yeah, but hang on,
white boys are stabbing each other up, aren't they? Just as much as black people are.
But I live in a country that's considered by most as a third world country, and in 7 years I've had absolutely no trouble. They're skint. There's no welfare system here. If you don't earn money, you don't eat.
Yeah, but I think if there's a group
So
of
where's
people
all the
who feel that
violence?
there's wealth in that society and they're not getting it, and they're also getting treated like shit by the police generally.
Yeah,
like
but
I grew up with people like black people, like because my auntie lives in West Norwood, Chris. Yeah, so there's a black family that lived next door to my auntie, and they were like, "You don't understand what it's like for black us people, like getting nicked, getting stopped and searched by the police week in, week out. That's just like what they had to experience." So like me and you, we didn't have to go through that.
I did. No, I did. I absolutely
Not
did.
to the same extent. Well, I
How
never.
do you
And
know?
I used to get drunk, do drugs, all that kind of stuff. But I wasn't serving up or anything. But like certain people, like they have a different experience, I think, to like white people, and it shows in the stats.
Well, you can spin it so that it does, but I think the big
stats, aren't they?
I think
spin stats.
there's stats there's bullshit,
Certain amount of people arrested, certain amount of people in prison, all that kind of
and a
stuff.
certain amount of people committing those crimes that put them in
Yeah, but
prison.
if you go to someone like I said, if you go to Glasgow, yeah.
Liam, just so that because someone actually paid, and this was my fault, not yours. Let's stick to the question because the racism one we thrashed it out on here, and we won't get anywhere
We're
with
not
it.
going to get anywhere.
Well, we will eventually when people realise that white people are the worst. Are getting anti-white racism is the worst. But connection to other activist groups and communication, was that a thing?
No,
Really, not at all.
no. Like I was involved in Extinction Rebellion one eye, and then I did Insulate Britain, and that was it.
And when you left Extinction Rebellion, and is it because the people not see an overlap, or is it just no? We think this, you think that, so the
No, there's
connection.
definitely overlaps. What kind of groups are you talking about? Like, say, like the climate movement was XR, Insulate Britain, Just Stop Oil. They were the sort of people. A lot of the people doing the Defend Our Juries stuff. You know, the Palestine Action prescribed as a terrorist organisation. Have you seen that?
No.
So there's a group called Palestine Action that have basically been targeting a group called Elbit, which are like a weapons manufacturer, and they supply a lot of the Israeli government weapons, and they build their weapons in the UK. So there's about, I don't know, there's about 15 or 20 different factories in the UK linked to different sort of independent companies, but basically they're all they're all governed by Elbit.
Okay.
And they sell to Israel, and Palestine Action have been targeting them for about 2 or 3 years. So they go into their premises and they cause like millions of pounds worth of damage. They smash all the equipment up.
I think I read about that actually quite recently, something like that.
Well, yeah, they're basically the thing that changed it, which is an interesting aspect of civil resistance theory, because when they targeted the British military, they targeted 2 of their planes, and
That's what I read.
Painting. And when I was working on a farm with my mate, and I went, well, you watch, they'll be on the front page now. They'll be on the front page of all the papers.
Working on the farm, were you?
Yeah, I was growing veg, yeah. I only lasted a couple of weeks, mate.
It's real work, isn't it?
Not for me.
Liam.
So hang on a minute. So they were prescribed a terrorist organisation. So basically, you can't support in public Palestine Action anymore, and they're a non-violent group. Yeah. So basically, the people that have been getting arrested for holding up signs in London, they're people that are connected to Insulate Britain, Just Stop Oil. I know a lot of those people that are doing that.
Okay. I mean, we had a geezer on the right get a 2-year not suspended. He got locked up for 2 years for stickers.
Yeah.
I mean, we get it as well. It's an interesting thought, actually. It's quite interesting talking to someone who is a leftist, essentially, that we both have the government trying to shut us up. It's not. They're not on either of our sides. They're their own thing, aren't they? The government.
The government are the biggest fucking. I remember I was working in Brixton once, right? And this guy, I was an electrician, and I was working in this house. And this guy, this black fellow that I was working in this house, he went, "You know what? The government, they're just the biggest hustlers. They're the biggest gang. They're the biggest."
Yeah, they are.
And it's true. King Henry VIII, right, was the biggest gangster on the block. That's what he was. And that's what the monarchy, that's what they are. Like, they're the biggest.
The aristocracy are just a gang. The government's a gang. The police are a gang.
They're just a big firm, mate, and they've got it all locked up. They've got it all.
Liam, are you a communist?
No, I don't actually. I think, like, I've been reading it. What's he called? David Harvey, is it? Do you know David Harvey? Because you were
I tend to associate Karl Marx with communism.
No, you're such a prick, you are. So there's this academic, and he does these lectures on YouTube, going through Marx, because it's hard work to read Capital, isn't it? I mean, I can
imagine it might be for you, yeah.
It is hard work.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Capital. So like this guy goes through it, and I haven't even fucking finished all them, to be honest with you. But I do think that there's, I've been reading these Michael Sugru lectures. This Princeton guy. They must have filmed him in the 80s or something, and he's going through the history of Western civilization, and he goes through the Bible. He talks about it like analytically. They're fucking really interesting. If you could put a link into the thing, they're called Michael Sugru lectures. This guy from Princeton, but he talks about how Marx came from Adam Smith, and he talks about the sort of intellectual capacity of these guys. Do you know what I mean? Like Adam Smith's ability to, because no one had sort of thought about it at that point, in 1750, of like, what's going on here? How is all these things happening? Adam Smith, like, amazingly was able to like condense it in all these sort of really different ways and sort of describe it. And Marx was really inspired by that. He was like a great admirer.
There's no doubt that Karl Marx was an exceptionally intelligent person.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? The ability to like focus your mind to like how he describes all these sort of like mad things that are going on. You might not agree with it, but just the ability to like narrow in. And that's what Adam Smith does, isn't it? He narrows in, and that's what intellectual capacity is all about. It's narrowing in to things
and
that
critical thinking
as well. Critical thinking that other people haven't done,
Here's my thing. I get a lot of stick from the right because a couple of my favourite writers, theory writers, not fiction, not literary fiction, is Theodor Adorno and Max Horkheimer, and they were both Frankfurt School writers, Jewish intellectuals.
I've heard of them. I haven't heard of those writers,
and they wrote a book called The Dialectic of Enlightenment, and there's a section in there called The Culture Industry, and I think it is there's no competition of it in terms of its outlining of how the culture industry works, how it controls, how it gets people to just do what it wants. That's going to be 40s, I'm guessing, late 40s, mid 40s maybe, but no one's come close to it. But what I don't agree with is their solution. So I agree with the sort of identification of the problem, but then they went on to write The Authoritarian Personality, which is just a terrifying program, and no thanks. But I do like Mr. Gold saying have some cash and drops 37.
I'll have a fiver of that. Fucking hell.
Well, if you can answer some questions seriously and stop chain smoking, I might give you £2.50. Liam, I'm going to let you go. I won't make you sit through one of your things on GB News.
Nice to speak to you.
Listen, it is, and look after yourself. I'm kind of glad you've come out of that, because I'm also kind of glad you've done it. I don't care that I oppose your ideology. I do have. It's like bad comedians. When I watch a bad comedian and I think you're fucking dreadful, but it takes a lot of bottle to stand up on stage and try and make people laugh. And in a similar way,
I've ever had in my life.
No, it's not meant to be. I mean, you told us earlier how much it changed your life. You had the old bill coming round and all that, and just that thing in the Times fucked me off. I had more grief from people on the right than I did anyone else. And I think your intentions were good, but it's lovely to talk to you. And I know that this is a hostile environment for you to come on to, and that again takes some bottle. Thanks for coming on, Liam. I'll talk to you soon one day, and you look after yourself.
Nice one, brother.
Yeah,
nice
keep it going.
Liam.
Cheers, bro.
Give Liam some love in the chat, people. He's a nice bloke. Take care, mate. There you go, people. That was interesting, wasn't it? Mr. Gold, thank you very much. I mean, it is quite discouraging when you've got someone like Liam on and a great conversation, and no one wants to give me any money, and Mr. Gold saves the day. Don't forget, Mr. Gold bought 6 bloody memberships the other week. Thank you, Mr. Gold. Is it still the Palantir money? Oi, Mr. Gold. Jed, I talked to Jed quite a lot over on Buy Me a Coffee, and he asked me about investing, and I said, you're probably better off with index funds and all that. And he said, yeah, but I hear people in the chat saying they made 30 big ones on Palantir, and I'm like, I want a bit of that. I said, yeah, it's understandable. I mean, I don't do indexes anymore. I just thought, the reality was, I thought, I'm looking at 15 years here, and I'm going to be about 70, even if I make it to 70, do you know what I mean? But thank you, Mr. Gold. That's very encouraging and appreciated. Yep, I'm going to put a Liam in the chat. He knew that I'd give him some mouth and not make it easy for him, and he still come on. He's a nice bloke.
I'm really warming to the guy. I quite like him.
I just think, oh, you done? I done all right with MicroStrategy. They went up. I think I sold at about 450, and I only paid. I think I made about 80-90 quid a share, but I only had about 6 of them, so it weren't like, but it was free money, so I took it. But the other day just wiped me out. Amazon's numbers come in. I always thought, you can trust Amazon all the way to, Amazon ain't going anywhere, are they? Fuck me, they dragged the whole markets down. If that don't go back up, that bit of land in the province will be a rather large tent. I'll get a marquee. I'll be living in a marquee. Anyway,
better check the chat, mate.
Check the chat.
Yeah, we've had enough of this music.
Okay, is that what all those ones are? Did someone say one if you want the music on? Yeah, just give it. I'll just give it a try, people. I'm quite up for that. If you are, it seemed to suit Liam though, didn't it? You know, maybe that's how it worked. Yeah, I'll put the invite into the chat if someone wants to come in for a conversation. It doesn't have to be as long as that, like I say. 42. I hope you got some kind of answer there. It got a little bit distracted. It's funny, isn't it, when people talk about racism and how black people have been treated for 400 years. And, you know I've got a fair idea of what most of the people in here actually think about that comment. And it's just, it's odd, isn't it? It's odd that, yeah, very, very strange. The link's in the chat. I'll pop it in again. While no one is coming in, I'll hear it if someone does. Look, hello, Special K. Now, missing the music. Freddie Oblivion, are you new in these parts? Let us know if you are. People will say hello if you want, and then you won't be new. It's bullshit, all of it. I think there is a lot of bullshit out there, yeah. I think the idea that the government is there to protect the populace is just that. The anchor's just fallen off that idea, isn't it? They're just there to get as much money out of us as possible. That's pretty much what the government does these days.
Yeah, but it's kind of what the populace that votes the government in wants, is their protection. You know, kind of why you do that shit.
Yeah, but I don't think they even do. I think do you think that the people who voted in Starmer are happy about the way he's running the country? And if they are,
well, yeah, the women that missed out on their pension, they're not. The pensioners that have to pay their licenses and everything, they're not, and don't get their heating allowance, they're not.
I'm not convinced that even people mine and your age are going to get a pension that's worth a piss. I just don't think they're going to have the money. They'll still give us a pension so they can. Then it'll be, well, we're still giving it, but with the economy, global politics, they'll blame it on absolutely anything, and you'll be getting 25 quid a month or something ridiculous because they just can't afford it. It's basic maths. You can't open up welfare to the whole world and have only a fraction of that world contributing. The truth will set you free has been on the firm for 54 months. That's a massive hoit, that is. Nice one, Cyril. Neil Christie says the hotel men are wearing uniforms now. You've got to give me more on that, because if you're saying what I think you're saying, that's insane. Can you please give me some more information, unless you're just in a thread of jokes that I've missed?
He might just mean the security is wearing uniforms. Hopefully, not that the.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Freddie Oblivion says they tell us the slavery narrative so that we feel bad and become today's slaves. Well, we pretty much are, because there's so many of them on welfare. Where does that money come from? Our taxes. So, I mean, yes, you can be a bit generous with the definition of slave, but Steve O'Neill. Hello, Steve. Hi, Chris. I'm 53. Lucky if I get one when they raise the retirement age to 80. Exactly. Yeah. Are they actually doing that?
I'm right there with you, Steve.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day. Are they really talking about raising it to? It's something like 75 in it.
Yeah, not this week, Chris, but maybe next week.
It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Anglo says unstable. Oh, and then he changed it to unsustainable. Yeah, I was thinking, what, me? That's been said before. You know, I'm not going to argue it. Yeah. Yeah, it is unsustainable. You know, 3 minus 4 is -1. That'll do. Hello, John. John says that Kalergi FC on that. They were Kalergi FC on that coach, lads. Hence the matching tracksuits. I don't know what that means, but Mr. Gold's joined. Mr. Gold, we might see you in one of the audio-only Discord chats then. Yeah, they get posted on my. If you've got notifications set up, you'll see it. Members get the link, and we just sit there, and it's like, as I've said too many times now, it's just like a few of us sitting around in a cafe. It's not me just rambling. Just sometimes I'm sitting there eating my dinner, listening to other people. I had a couple of them this week. I might do one tomorrow, actually, probably about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, UK time. Nice one, Mr. Gold. Very kind of you. Willow says, cash in your pension and buy Bitcoin. Can you cash in your pension? Can you go to the government and say, I want it now? I mean, I've been paying national insurance for fucking ever. Can you do that? Does anyone know about that? Can you actually...
Not your government one. Your private ones you can, but if you do private ones, you lose money, obviously.
I haven't got a private one, have I? I'm self-employed. Plastic African drops an Ayrton Senna. He says, have a tea on me. Be safe and much love. That's very kind of you, Plastic African. I'll have a Machano Caprasha 2 tea on that. That worked both ways, didn't it? Cheers. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. It's 12:30 here, people. Blogs is in. I've witnessed them call it jizya. This makes us dimmy. I mean, I don't know if I've said things there that I shouldn't, or whether I said things that don't mean anything. I mean, the truth will set you free. He says, I keep trying to show people History Debunks videos on Windrush, but the narrative is so ingrained that they just say it's bullshit. Well, look, this is what I think, and it's not just my belief, but what the left does is they appeal to emotion. Now, I don't mean in the fallacious argument sense of an appeal to emotion, but it is an appeal to emotion. A good example would be Live Aid. And I was writing about this the other night, which is why it's in my head. And I remember I went up into central London on the day of Live Aid because I knew my mother would be sitting there watching the whole thing from start to finish. And after about an hour of it, I realized that every 5 minutes I'd have to sit through 10 minutes of starving African kids with flies crawling on their eyes and massive distended bellies. And that's awful. That there's no need for that to happen on a planet with so many resources. Right, I get that. But that appeal to emotion, you know, after they've shown you 5, 10, 15 minutes of that hell on earth, then it's the telephone numbers, then it's how you can donate, you know, and there was more of that than there was rock music. And I thought, fuck this. But that is what the left has done. The left gets people in the emotions. Now, the problem with that is, once something has got you in the emotions, you're not thinking logically and critically about it anymore, because emotions will always override logical and critical thoughts. That's why when there's that fucking hard as nuts geezer in the boozer who's 2 foot taller than you and weighs about £30 more and who's ripped to pieces, and he slaps your missus or something, you get so angry, you're in emotions now, and so you try and take him on and you get the shit kicked out of you. Whereas if you weren't in emotion, you'll be able to go, right, he slapped my missus, that's that's not allowed. I will sort this out later when I'm not in emotions, because I'm not the bloke to do it. I'm half pissed. He's twice the size of me. I'll make some phone calls and get this sorted out later, because that's critical and it's logical. And so the problem, what the left does when they appeal to your emotions with everything they talk about, everything, that becomes part of your identity, because it's so ingrained in the way you think and feel. And then it becomes a belief system. That's what happens when you get emotions and identity together. This is psychologically, the psychology of the receipts are in on this. It's then a belief system, whereas we don't have belief systems. We have logic, we have critical thinking, we have evidence, we have receipts. But the left don't. They have a belief system. And when you try and tackle someone on a belief system, you're attacking their identity, you're attacking their emotions, you're, in their eyes, you're attacking their very raison d'etre. You're attacking their very, the soul of them. And that's why they just flare up and just talk. You know, if you've ever noticed, if you're winning an argument with a leftist, they'll either get violent, rage quit, change the subject, but rarely will they just go, you know what, that makes sense. You just won't get it, because that means they've got to. It's like converting a religious person into a different religion. It's hard graft, because it's that ingrained within their sense of self. You know, my personality, when I talk about Adorno and Horkheimer and the culture industry, it's not my personality. I don't get emotional about it. I just think it's a very good analysis of the way the culture industry works. That's it. I mean, when I was part of the RCP in Leeds, we'd go and watch films like Land and Freedom, communist propaganda. And you'd have that beautiful little cinema in Leeds, in Hyde Park in Leeds. If anyone's been there, it's beautiful. It's the only cinema left in the country that's got a box office outside. Literally a little box, which is an office where they give you tickets. I think the cinema only seats about 100, and it was full of communists, the Revolutionary Communist Party of Great Britain, crying, watching Ken Loach's communist propaganda film about the Spanish Civil War. You know, I haven't had anything like that on the right. I haven't been taken to, I mean, this is why the left have had so much power, certainly in the 20th century, because they understood the power of culture. They made films, you know, their art, their understanding of culture. Even things that you'd think are right out there, like Russian realism. You've got these pictures of these men and women in the country, like, you know, ploughing the land. It's all part of the system of indoctrination. It's all propaganda. I know I've said this next line probably more than any other lines on this channel, but in Paul Virilio's book, and I really recommend it. He's a leftist, but you wouldn't think that reading the book, so I shouldn't have really said that. Is he a leftist, Paul Virilio? I don't know. But there was a point in the Second World War where, when they were going over to bomb Germany, I think it was one of old fucking, excuse my language, sorry, I don't like that. I think it was one of Bomber Harris's, it wasn't Dresden, but it was one of those carpet bombing flights. One of the bombers had more film equipment on it than munitions, than ordnance, I think it's called, isn't it? Because they realised there's no point going to Germany and flattening entire cities and towns unless you could show people. It served no purpose. You know, civilian targets are just, you know, it's just bad. It serves a purpose, obviously, but it serves a bigger purpose when you can come back to England and show the footage. And here we are. There's the Royal Air Force flying over Germany in the middle of the night. They're flying the flags in the air, but they're managing to dodge it. Look at this hero. He's just flown very low and blown up all those people. More film equipment on a bomber than bombs. That's a real moment in history as far as I can work it out.
Would you look at you buy me a coffee, Chris?
So, I think I've missed another a donation. Oh no! Look at me buy me a coffee. It's sometimes a little bit late updating that one.
Well, apparently it's not working. There's the rumor.
But this is what everyone says. What, have you tried the QR code on the screen, people?
AAA.
I don't like the idea of that not working. We had this the other day, didn't we? Is that QR code not working? Let me try it. People, I do apologise about having to do things like this and make sure my donations funnels are working. But I have to. Right, let me see if I can get that QR code working. So you get your camera, you put it over that QR code. There you go, then a link comes up, you put it on. You've got to be over 18, click that, you've only got to say you are. Yeah, that's working, I'm getting it working. Who can't get it working?
AAA. And I think Spanish Chicken may have concurred. I'm not sure.
Hello, AAA. Well, I got it working. Oh, hang on. One's just come through.
Bang.
I got the QR code on the screen is probably, maybe I put the wrong link in the thing. Whoever donated that last one, it says, hello, mate, love the graft. Do you want to remain anonymous or do you want me to read your name out? Because on Buy Me a Coffee, it's your real name. Let me know in the chat. Packer, can you keep an eye out for that, please?
Okay.
Because I will thank you using your real name if you want, but... So that's you, is it? Are you AO? Is that you, AAA? Are you AO? So the link in the chat box, yeah, I fucked that up last time as well. That's weird. That's a shame. I'm not really sure. Can you keep an eye out on what AAA says, please, Packer? If he's AO.
He says, yep.
Okay, thank you, Andrew Oxford, for your donation on Buy Me a Coffee. That's Machano Caproscionata Cadata. You'll get your video, your private special video later. And apologies to the 3 people that got their special videos while I was having a migraine. They're not great, are they? Why did I tell you what, we've got to have a look at this drummer that's taking YouTube by storm. It's absolutely ridiculous. Right, hang on. What's the Buy Me a Coffee link? Oh yeah, I can see what I've done. Right. Give me a couple of seconds, people. Talk amongst yourselves. Maybe get a snack or something, or a nice refreshing cool drink.
Run to the toilet.
Maybe use the latrine, of course. It's nearly done now.
Well, turn it up, then you'll still be able to hear him.
Who's that? What are you talking about? You're losing me now. But that's because I'm not listening.
What did I have for dinner, Packer? Nothing yet. I'm having steaks.
It's all he eats, people. He's on that diet, ain't he?
I did eat nothing but beef for a couple of days this week, but I've also had eggs and pork and bacon and more eggs.
Right, I think we're going to be all right, people. Right, so I've repinned the message. I see the mistake I made, but the QR code's the way to go. Thank you, AAA. Very kind. A regular supporter on the old Buy Me a Coffee. But yeah, we've got to have a look at this drummer. Al, have you seen him? Is Al still in here? His name is El Estepario Siberiano. I'm gonna have a look at some of his shorts actually, because then we won't have to sit through loads of other people talking about him. But good Lord, I've seen some drummers in my time. I think this bloke might be the next sort of Billy Cobham. You know, when someone comes along and changes the way an instrument is played, this is like the next level. He's doing things that I've just not. He's doing things that it's not a question of not knowing how he's doing them, but I've just never seen someone try it before. So let me just see if I can get some shorts. Oh, this one's ridiculous. Yeah, we'll watch a few. Hang on. So check this out. So yeah, like I say, his name is El Esteparo Siberiano. I watched a video of him today. He went to some school and they didn't know he was coming, and there's a lot of kids who have drum lessons off of some normal geezer. And this bloke who's got a couple of million subscribers on YouTube was their drum teacher for the day. And like they just walked in and were like, what? And I tell you what, in that hour with him, I bet they learned more than a year with their usual teacher. So check this out. I mean, I don't know what these will be, but he's that good. Every one I show you will be remarkable. They're going to be a bit small because they're shorts, but here we go. Check it. One hand. Cigarette. See, what you've got to realize is that beat he's playing there is hard to play with two sticks. Most drummers can't play that with two sticks. He's having a cup of tea and lighting a fag while he's doing it. Let's have a look at another one.
Okay, guys, so the bassist from Slipknot asked me personally to...
There's one of his videos, I'd love to find it, where he's got this little graphic and he plays like he's doing a five beats to the bar on the bass drum, 4 beats to the bar on the snare, 3 on the hi-hat and 2 on the ride cymbal. And you see this little graphic and it's just how... Well, John, that's not strictly true. I mean, when you hear him actually playing along to something, it's full of feel. But to get the clicks, he does stuff like this. And I do agree with you. But if you can play that fast and with one hand, imagine what you can play when you're actually putting your heart into it and putting a bit of soul into it. Yeah. So the
your other hand.
Pardon me?
And your other hand.
Yeah. Yeah, using 2 hands. Oh no, Anglo. I've seen her videos. I can't watch them. I can't watch them because I can't stop watching them. There's this. She's oi people. I can't do it because I get a bit hooked. Super hot. Better than average drummer, but she's so, little shorts and a little t-shirt and her pigtails. Good gosh, Anglo. I bet you've clocked up about as many hours as I have on her. Anyway, the bass player from Slipknot wrote to him apparently and asked him to play it. Let's have a look.
Okay, guys, so the bassist from Slipknot asked me personally to play Heretic Anthem with one hand. And I would love to say no, but you don't say no to a band like that. Let's do it!
It's just ridiculous. I won't keep playing. Yeah, he's incredible. AAA. See that one, didn't you? Check it. I'd love to be able to find one with the time.
All right, let's see what this is all about. So apparently this is one of the best drum intros in the 80s. Okay.
Which is weird because originally it had a drum
read your mind.
and a real...
That guy is a genius. He was
Right.
hired for $1,000.
Because Anglo mentioned it, I will give you a little treat, people. But listen, look away now, unless you might get hooked, people. I'm just warning you.
It's
I'm
too
gonna
late.
have
I
to
already
stop.
looked.
The time I've wasted watching these videos is I'm gonna have to have the volume down, I'm afraid, because it's a cover. I can play a bit of it, I suppose. My God. Let's skip that. Is that nice? Oh my God. Yeah, we'll get into the actual rhythm. Look at her thing. I'm sure you were. What has the internet done to us, people? Packer looked like he could watch that forever then. He was just getting comfortable.
Yeah, what's not to like them? Why wouldn't you know? I probably would get bored, but I don't know when.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you would actually. I haven't yet, but I'm a bit frustrated because there's this other one I've been checking out as well. Have a look at this. There's a weird new thing about hot female drummers on the internet, and you know what you're meant to do. I like drumming. I've got yellow fever, but check this chick out. Did she really have to wear those shorts? And she looks nuts as well, which is always great. Imagine that's your bird, and you turn up around someone's house and they've got a drum kit, and the geezer whose house it is, and your bird goes, or that Korean bird goes, "Oh, you play drums?" And he's like giving it the big, and he's like, "Yeah, I can teach you a few if you want. Yeah, just on the hi hat, and on the snare, and on the snare." And then she sits down and goes, imagine. And there's loads of them, hot chicks playing drums, and the other geezer. It's Baz says they all seem to be autistic. I don't make it more tempting than it is, Baz. Jedi says good wrist action.
I mean, the internet's not just hot chicks playing the drums, is it? You know, they do pole vaulting as well, apparently. I've heard.
Yeah, but I wonder how many drummers you're going to watch that aren't female from that. You see my point, didn't you? I just saw a very funny thing. He lived with a drummer. All his mates would come over. They're obsessed. I love them. Yeah, it's great having it. I can play a little bit of drums. I like grade nothing, but I can play a few beats. I can do the funky drummer, which I spent ages learning, just so that I could sit down at a kit and go, yeah. They go, can you do anything else? And I'm like, nah. We had a full kit set up at the squat in Bethnal Green in the basement, and it was the end of terrace, and on the other side it was care in the community. We'd all come back from Soho absolutely rinsed out of our minds, go down into the cellar. We had a guitar, we had a bass, we had a couple of keyboards, microphone, 2 microphones actually, and a drum kit, and we'd just jam all night. It's fucking brilliant, man. Not so good on cocaine though. And Shane says all that sticky rice on your fingers. I'll tell you what, if it means I'll put up with that, Shane. I'll put up with that. Meg White, of course, Brad, one of the best rock drummers ever. And when I say that, people laugh at me, but rock drumming doesn't need to be that technical. She was brilliant. I mean, the White Stripes, when you've got a guitar and a set of drums, something quite funny though. That fella, the Spanish geezer I showed you at the beginning, who went to this school to be the drum teacher for the day, he's famous for wearing his hat. And his hat says on it, drum and bass. But when you get a bit closer, there's a cross through the D and the B. So it says rum and arse. And he's teaching these 6-year-old kids with rum and arse on it. I was thinking, I wonder when someone's going to pick up on that and sack the school music teacher. Neil still prefers Phil Collins. Not everyone's cup of tea. I had a friend of mine. I can't tell you who he was because you'll know him because he's a famous man. We went back to his house. We done about 5 pills each. His missus was there. She used to be married to Sean Bean. And so we've done all these pills. And he went to me. He went, the day my dad died. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, here we go. This is why I don't do ecstasy. The day my dad died. He went, Scottish, so he is. He went after the funeral. He went, I just went back to my house. I got in my shed where my drum kit was. I put the stereo on. And he went, and I just put it on. Phil Collins, In the Air at Night. And I just went, I can feel it come. And I'm just looking at him thinking, this is disgusting. And then he went, and then I just done that solo, the wet drums. And I thought, I've got to call it. And I said, that is one of the most hideous stories, that your memory of your dad's funeral is Phil Collins In the Air at Night. And bless him, he cracked up. Thank God. But that's what ecstasy does to your people. Next time I see him, I said, do you still think that playing In the Air at Night by Phil Collins after your dad's funeral was one of the best nights of your life. He went, I was lying anyway. He said, I wasn't lying to wind you up. He said, I was lying to just, he went, because I was out my head. I went, oh, that's all right. I suppose that's all right. Ecstasy, what a horrible drug. I remember having an argument with there were these two hippies at Maidstone Art School, boy and a girl. Well, man and woman. Well, bit, in between. Well, he was a man, she was a girl. No, they were a couple, about 18. And they loved ecstasy, and I hated it. I just hated people come up to me going, you've got lovely skin. I'll be going, no, I haven't. It's fucking horrible. And all that false love. And I said that to him. I said, I just can't be doing all that false love. It's not a healthy society. It's just soma. It's straight, it's Orwellian. And, well, it's not Orwellian, is it? It's what's his name? Oh, who wrote Doors of Perception? I'm getting the writers around my neck. It is now 1 o'clock in the morning. And she said to me, yeah, but I like to think that ecstasy brings out what we really feel. And I went, it doesn't. if it did, you wouldn't need to have it. What a ridiculous argument. It brings out what you really feel. No, alcohol does that. Oh, we've had some more donations. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab them all so that even Andrew gets his moment in the sun. Oh, that's very kind of you people. I'm going to have to go on a dollar drive if things carry on this bad, but that's very good. Here we go. Have a look at this. Get your visual pies for eyes around this. Someone bought 5 futures. I don't know who it is. Cheers for getting me into stocks. There's another one of those lovely people. If you want to declare who you are in the chat, feel free. Packer, keep an eye out for it and let me know. JP bought me 3. He says leftism is gay as fuck. Well, I think that's an insult to the gays, to be honest with you. Most of the gays I know, and I was the only straight in the village for a good 15 years, they're so right-wing. They're so right-wing. Like, what was his name? Who was that Tory leader after Blair? David Cameron. I've had it on good authority that him and the entire cabinet were bent as a 2-bob note, like proper like bathhouse stuff. And I think Brad, if he's still here, will probably know when I say on good authority who I'm talking about, because Brad knows the bloke I know that was in with that lot, and I think he mentioned it before to me. Budgie Burger said, have you ever cracked yourself in the balls when playing drums? I have. Oof. No, I haven't. Not being a drummer, but I can imagine that's fucking agony. Because that's right by your snare drum, and you're hitting that snare drum hard, aren't you? That's a proper rim shot, that is. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, John Palmer. And thank you, someone. If you would like to show thyself, you can. That's amazing. Oh, I can think of it now. Like sometimes my missus will just I wear a crammer around the house tonight. It's a glorified detail. And sometimes when I'm sitting at my desk, my sort of junk is just sort of hanging over the edge of the chair. And my missus will sometimes just grab my cock and just give it a squeeze. And I kept saying to her, one day you'll grab my bollock and do that, and my head will explode. And the other day she did. She'd just woken up. She couldn't really see properly. She dived down, give it a good old squeeze. Oh my days! I was on the floor, like when you can feel it up in your ribs, Fucking hell. Well, apparently not, John. Apparently not. Oh, that came from you, Mark, did it? Small token, Chris. Till I cash in my Palantir, then I'll sort you out proper. Mark, I'm going to say this now. That's very kind. I take it you're that someone then, are you?
Yeah.
Look out for the stock market at the moment. We could be looking at a 20% correction. If you were buying Palantir at like 15, 20 quid or anything below, I think I first tipped it at like $7. You've got a bit of time to play with, but it might be time to take some profits if you haven't already. I think we've got, I mean, you saw what happened with the Amazon earning call. They absolutely smashed it. They done an absolute blinder, and Amazon went down about $25. You know, how does that happen? And what it is it's the street, it's Wall Street trying to get retail investors to sell. Now the weird contradiction is, if you don't, like Palantir could go down to 30 quid in a matter of minutes. So if you're holding Palantir and all of them, we're in for a very volatile time. But when I give out information like that, it's your decision. It is gambling, and you might find that you hold it. I mean, Palantir earnings is coming up. Nvidia earnings is coming up. It's earnings call season. You've got Nvidia coming up, Palantir coming up. What other big ones coming up? AMD's coming up. Meta's earnings call happened last week. They went up $85 in April. You could get Meta for under $500. They went up to like $780. So next day they went down about $30. So it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to know when to cash in. It's hard to know when to take profits. I didn't watch it. I don't hold any Tesla. I lost faith in Elon Musk, really, to be honest with you. I mean, I haven't got the time. Give it 10, 20 years. When you've got full self-driving, Tesla will be worth an absolute fortune. I just haven't got that time. Mark, are you holding SoFi? I'm holding SoFi because it's so cheap. I got to buy a fair amount. I got about 300 of them. And I was paying like 3 or 4 quid for them. And now they're like 20 quid a spot, but that's house money. And I think, you know, SoFi smashed earnings, didn't they? They absolutely, you couldn't have asked for a better earnings. What happened? It went down a quid or something. It's like, thanks. I was watching the earnings as it was coming in thinking, this is amazing. It's going to go up about 20 quid. No. After hours. Do you know 90% of retail investors lose money? 98%. And it's all because the so-called analysts and all that lot, they want you to lose money so that they can get it, so that Gary Stevenson can get it. I tell you what, though, people, I'll leave you on this one. I'm looking at Figma. They've already had a bit of a jump. AAA, I was buying Bitcoin when they were $70 each. And I was buying like 20 at a time so I could get my skag off the dark web. $70. What are they at the moment? About $107,000. And my missus at the time, she loved it because she learned about it from me. She was so rich anyway. She thought, oh, I'll buy some then, and so she bought about 10. And I'd spunk mine on drugs and whatever. I was buying like £5 of weed just for a laugh because it was funny having it delivered to your house, like a big fucking couple of shoe boxes of weed. And she bought 10, and very occasionally I'd run out and I'd need to get something delivered on the dark web. And I'd say to her, oi, lend us a Bitcoin, can you? She'd be like, yeah. Anyway, I was with her for 6 years, and the price went up to something like, I think it was about 80,000, and I had none left, and I stopped getting it off the dark net because I made a contact in Thailand. They was sending me over the finest number 4, and I said to her, "Oi, have you still got any of those Bitcoins?" She went, "I haven't looked for about 6 years." I said, "But you bought about 20, right?" She said, "Well, yeah, but you took a few off me." I said, "Yeah, but only a couple." She said, "Yeah." So I said, can you remember your number?" She said, "Yeah, I've got it all written down." And I was like, "Fucking hell." I said, even if you've only got 15 left, that's 15 times like 60,000. You know, that's nearly $1 million. And me and her were like, wow. She's opened up her account, fuck all. And then every transaction was just her sending it to me. Oh, how we'd laughed and split up. Right, people, it's 1 a.m. I have got some writing to do. Yeah, that was it. If you went back that far, you will also remember Dream Market was wicked. Alpha Bay was wicked. You know the geezer around Alpha Bay? He got nicked in Thailand. They put him in prison. He hung himself. He was a great lad. I used to talk to him. I used to talk to the owner of Alpha Bay if I had trouble with vendors because I was such a good punter. Yeah, he was moving around the world. It was all done remotely on like internet cafes. Remember internet cafes? So it was all on other people's computers, all VPN'd up, you know, going through about 6 different accounts, all moving around the country. But of course, the FBI have got better technology than that. And I think he made a really weird mistake. Like he forgot to log out in an internet cafe. And the FBI computers just showed that this computer was still on because he knew not to stay online for like more than sort of 20 minutes or something like that. I don't know the ins and outs of it. And that's how they found him. He just forgot to log off. And they threw him in a Thai prison and he hung himself. And the irony is he probably saved more lives than the FBI ever have simply by selling drugs on the dark web. People knew what they were getting. People, you know, you could read reviews. You didn't have to deal with dodgy bastards up alleyways in the middle of the night and all that stuff that comes with it. I don't know. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Right, people. Give me a second. Give me a couple of seconds. Packer.
Yes,
What
sir.
have you made of tonight's stream?
It's all right. Liam was really good. I enjoyed him.
Pardon?
Liam was really good. I enjoyed him.
Yeah, I think that was a highlight in many ways. So what's happening next? Dave's on tonight, is he?
No, 42's on at 10:30, and I think we're talking carnivals or something. We're not. He is.
What? So
Carnivals.
it's not you. It's not you, Packer. I've got you turned down really quiet. So I'm sorry to keep on.
He'll be talking some historical stories. He'll tell you in the chat any second now because he's here.
I'll tell you what. 42 advertise. Tell us what you're talking about. He sent me an email, and the subject was not for public consumption. And I was like, oh. I will reply to that. By the way, 42. It's just I've got a lot on as ever.
Yeah, and then bizarrely next Friday on RPW Media, which is on at 11 o'clock.
No scrubs can
RPW
remember.
invited 42 onto his stream, and they're dragging me on as well.
Well, that's a bit of a bad timing, really. Oh, 11 o'clock your time.
11 o'clock our time. Yeah, you'll be tucked up by then, I'm sure, because it's like.
Hang on a minute.
Mid-morning.
What day is it today?
Today's
Hang
Saturday.
on a minute. Hang on. 3rd. Saturday the 3rd, Sunday the 4th, 5th, Monday the 5th, Tuesday the 6th, Wednesday the... hang on, let me just get my calendar up. I can't even count. Ladies and gentlemen, Friday coming on this stream, it'll be Picard, of course, and the Iconoclast. So, I tell you what, I spoke to Hugh the other day, and I said, it's always there. So the offer's always there. It might happen again, people. But this Friday coming, Friday night my time, but I think 5 o'clock UK Iconoclast. But I'll talk to you before then. Look out for the notifications for the Discord chat. Packer, I'll let you go, mate.
Hang on, it'll be Danger, Iconoclast, and who?
No. You're a celebrity. You're a celebrity now. You're right up there. Well, Mark, it did happen. He did do a comeback, and do you remember that one? Me, Hugh, and Dan, like just recently. I'm sure it happened, didn't it? Hugh come on halfway through, pissed as usual. He said he wasn't gonna, and he did. He done a double bluff, didn't he? He come on. He said it. He said he was going to come on. Then halfway through the stream, I got a message saying I can't be asked. And then he come on. But yeah, it would be good. They were good times. Blog says he failed at basic OPSEC. I don't know what you're talking about. That's probably to someone else. Sorry, Bill. I think you're probably in conversation with someone. Packer, look after yourself, mate. When is a toffee? I do it all every time I talk to him, but he's getting a bit sick of it. He's like, just stop asking me to come on a stream, all right? He said, I know the offer's open, but I do tell him that everyone misses him and everyone always mentions it, and I know Hugh enough to know that he likes to hear that, so not a problem. Packer, enjoy the rest of your weekend. What time is 42 on?
10:30, 10:30 UK time.
10:30 people tonight. 42 llamas and something. He said. I prefer alpacas. See you later, alpaca.
Cheers.
So, I don't know how to get rid of you. Oh yeah,
Nobody
I do.
does.
Nobody does. Well, there you go, people. It's only a short one tonight, 2 hours, but I've got to get this novel finished. I've got to get it in the shops for Christmas. Otherwise, I won't be eating by next Christmas. Thanks to Packer. Show him some love in the chat, people. Trust me, I can't stream without him anymore. I just can't do it. If he can't do it, I can't do it. So show him some love. I'm going to put a Picard in. I like to go for a capital P, apostrophe, capital K, and then a couple of small A's. You can do that, or you can have your own version. I'll show you what I've gone for. I go for that. Look, it's got quite stylish, a little bit of finesse, a little bit of a little bit more decorum than that, actually, John Palmer. That doesn't not what we like, you know. Anyway, I want to thank Packer, obviously. I want to thank everyone who donated, really, really helping me, and you get more streams out of it. I might even do one tomorrow. That's how that works. That's basics of supply, demand, and meant to be building a house out of. I'm looking around my desk. And most of all, and I mean this, all the scrubs who continually come back to these streams, I love them. I love you. Bless you all. Don't forget to tell the people you love that you love them. Here's a bit of music. It is a bit of a popular favourite. I hope you enjoy it. And you might see me tomorrow. I'll definitely be doing a voice chat on the Discord for members during the day. But considering there was some good donations tonight, I'll try and fit a stream in tomorrow if I can. Bless you all, people. Ta-da!
The company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive, selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, "We love Satan."
I haven't spoken to him for months. I'd had enough of him.
I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man.
Dotty.
She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I told her and Obama just did.
You naughty boy, Packer. Thank you, mate. Thanks for having me.
Like sulfur. Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round.
Sometimes, Baz, when people are too toxic, you've got to get them shot.
We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice that it's out rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. Oh, oh, oh. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, "We love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet."
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
So was I. It's very, very weird how that happens. Look after yourselves, people. Hello, Dave. What happened to you in the Discord chat, you cheeky monkey? I'll be writing tonight, so I'll have your show on in the background. I want a full explanation, and I would love to see you there. Well, not see you because it's audio only. Have a good show, mate. Look after yourselves, people, and a massive ta-ta from me.